Hello mouses! It's really cold here, as you can probably tell from these pictures. This was my garden this morning, and as you can see, the weather has decided to get behind the new release of a teaser trailer for Game of Thrones Series 3 because winter is coming. Yes, it's a bad pun. Okay, what I want to talk about today is a bit of background on the conflict that's going on in Mali. Because if you've been watching the news, you'll have seen that an operation by French military into Mali last night didn't go quite according to plan. They were hoping to be able to get back an intelligence agent who may or may not have been killed by the Islamic people that he was captured by. But so far it looks like he's been killed, and at least one other French military person has been killed, along with one possibly captured. So it's quite a bad situation. This is not a conflict that has had an awful lot of press coverage that I've seen, so I thought I'd give a little bit of background into what's going on. Now, the conflict itself is about a year old so far. It started because a group in the northern part of Mali, in a region that they're calling Azawad, wants independence for that area. There's a native group of people there and they want independence from Mali. They want to set up their own state. So they began trying to secede, and they've done it through the creation of a military faction that is being referred to in the news as the MNLA. This stands for, in French, and I'm having to read it off a piece of paper because it's something that I can't memorise, Mouvement National pour la Libération de l'Azawad. Basically the National Movement for Azawad Liberation. And their goal was to secede from Mali and form their own nation. Now, they had the backing of an Islamic group called Ansar Dini. They managed to actually get independence by the 2nd of April. It took until the 5th to get all of the major cities in the north, but the majority of independence was achieved by 2nd of April, and on the 5th of April, with the taking of the last of the major cities, including Timbuktu, they managed to achieve their goals, and they broke away from Mali. They set up the nation of Azawad. Almost immediately, Ansar Dini and another group, a splinter group from Al-Qaeda, decided that actually, this MNLA group, they weren't quite what they were wanting, and they all started fighting each other. Ansar Dini managed to put Sharia law into place, a rather extreme version of it. By the 5th of April, it's basically, Azawad is now in civil war with these factions fighting each other. Not a great situation, especially if you happen to be one of the civilians that's living there. This civil war went on for a couple of months, but by the 17th of July, the MNLA had completely lost control of the region. It's now a region that is dominated by these Islamic people who are trying to take control. And they've managed pretty much to achieve that. So, Malian forces came back. So now the fighting is between the Malian forces and the Islamist insurgents. And as a result, the whole place is back into civil war. Not great. So Mali called in help. Enter France. You might have noticed that the MNLA was using a French name. France has a lot of history in that part of Africa, so naturally France went to call a fray, because we probably should sort out some of the problems that historically we may have had a hand in causing. So let's go in. And they did. Britain sent 2 troop transporters to give a bit of aid because France is our ally now. We've fought them for most of history, but they're our ally now, so we've got to help them out. So we sent that over, but it's mainly a French operation, and it didn't go well. The French didn't manage to take the Islamists by surprise, which is what they were hoping. They didn't manage to achieve their objectives. They've got a person killed, at least one person killed, and one potentially captured. And a helicopter pilot died in hospital after the operation. It's not gone well. So the thing that we have to see now is whether this is going to escalate into terrorist operations in France, because the Islamist factions that are there have said that there will be serious reprisals for France. I'm not sure whether anything will come of that or whether they're just angry and shouting, but to be honest with you, no one can not take that seriously. So it's something that we're going to have to watch for the future. It's a horrible situation, and I hope it's resolved as peacefully as possible and as quickly as possible, but I'm not holding my breath. Speaking of horrible situations, Britain has decided that it's quite a good possibility now that we will start arming the rebels in Syria in order to finish off the conflict there. I'm not sure that's going to work out well, but at the same time, it's a better option than just letting the Syrian government forces keep attacking the population. I'm going to say again that I hope this works out reasonably well with a quick resolution, but I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. I know that's probably going to last for the best part of this year, if not longer. But fingers crossed that we can get it resolved as peacefully as possible, and that people can get back to their lives rather than having to worry about whether their friends and family are going to come home or not. Okay, that's all I've got today. It's been a really downer day, so I'm going to say thank you for watching. Remember to share this with your friends so that they can see what's been going on in the world as well. And do subscribe for future videos. I'm not always this downcast. But until next time, I've been Kirk-Robinson. You've been watching a video. I'll see you tomorrow.